Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Monday, October 30th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin with an update on the condition of All Elite Wrestling's Bryan Danielson. Late on Saturday night, PW Insider reported that Danielson suffered a legitimate broken left orbital bone during he and Claudio Castagnoli's tag team match this past Wednesday night on Dynamite against Kazuchika Okada and Orange Cassidy. This morning on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer also confirmed the story and indicated that Danielson has already undergone surgery and will be out of action for at least the remainder of the year, putting a long-rumored singles match between Danielson and Okada on January 4th at the Tokyo Dome in jeopardy. Danielson made his return to television on September 2nd after suffering a broken forearm against Okada 69 days prior during a singles match at June's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. We'll have more news on this story as details surface. New Japan Pro Wrestling presented Day 6 of its ongoing Super Juniors Tag League tournament today at the Tsubame-shi Physical Education Center in Tsubame, Niigata. Tournament results saw Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney defeat Doki and Taka Michinoku. Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru topped Ryusuke Taguchi in the DKC. Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles beat Musashi and Yo. Bushi and Titan defeated Francesco Akira and TJP. And El Desperado and Master Wato turned back Kevin Knight and Kushida. El Desperado and Master Wato currently lead the tag league standings with 10 points, 2 points ahead of Connors and Maloney and Kanemaru and Sho. New Japan Pro Wrestling also presented NJPW Strong Fighting Spirit Unleashed on Saturday night at Sam's Town Live in Las Vegas. In the main event, Shingo Takagi won the never openweight title from Tama Tonga when Takagi pinned Tonga in 26 minutes and 58 seconds. Takagi begins his third reign as never champion, while simultaneously ending Tonga's third reign after only 19 days. Stardom regular Giulia made her North American debut by defeating Hyen to retain the Strong Women's Championship. During her post-match press conference, Giulia was confronted by MLW's Trish Adora. In other title matches on the show, El Phantasmo and Hikuleo retained the Strong Openweight Tag Team titles by turning back the challenge of Lance Archer and Alex Zane. And Eddie Kingston held on to his Strong Openweight Singles title for the fourth time, besting Hanare. Earlier in the show, Jeff Cobb won a four-way contenders match over Fred Rosser, Alex Coughlin, and Satoshi Kojima to become Kingston's next challenger. Other notable results from the show saw IWGP World Champion Sanada and Yuya Uemura wrestle Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi to a 20-minute draw. Mexican luchador Atlantis' 40th anniversary celebration tour continued as he teamed with Hiroshi Tanahashi, Mystico, and his son Atlantis Jr. to defeat the team of Rocky Romero, Soberano Jr., Tiger Mask, and Adrian Quest. And the Bullet Club's Gabe Kidd upended Filthy Tom Lawler. In some other news from around Japan, the Stardom promotion ran their Halloween Dark Night 2023 show on Sunday from the Tachikawa Stage Garden in Tokyo. One Goddess of Stardom Tag League matchup was featured as in the Red Stars block, Risa Sera and Kurumi Haragi defeated Tsuyori and Saki Kashima. Suzu Suzuki and Mei Sierra currently lead the Red Stars block with 5 points. In the Blue Stars block, there are 3 teams tied for the lead with 4 points. Big Japan Wrestling ran Sunday at Korakuen Hall and featured 2 championship retentions. Daimanji So defeated Daisuke Sekimoto to retain the All-Asia Heavyweight title. And in the main event of the show, Yuya Aoki topped Kazumasa Yoshida to hold on to Big Japan's World Strong Heavyweight title. Impact Wrestling came to the HMV Empire in Coventry, England for Night 3 of its UK Invasion Tour. In the main event, Chris Sabin successfully defended the X Division title against Frankie Kazarian. In other selected results, Eric Young, Rich Swann, and Trinity defeated Subculture. Brian Myers and Moose beat Grado and Joe Hendry. Rhino went over Eddie Edwards in a street fight, and Jordan Grace won a 3-way match over Deonna Purrazzo and Giselle Shaw. Meanwhile, WWE was also in the UK with a Sunday night stunner house show at OVO Wembley Arena in London. The main event saw LA Knight go over Solo Sikoa in a street fight. In the evening's only title match, Io Sky retained the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. In other results, Bobby Lashley beat Grayson Waller, Pretty Deadly topped the LWO, Santos Escobar defeated Karrion Kross, Shotzi went over Bailey, and the Brawling Brutes beat the Street Profits. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.